What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm here with Elijah. Elijah, appreciate you for coming out, buddy.
Thank you.
He
Pleasure.
is the owner of the angrycivic that we've been seeing on Instagram. Recently moved down from Texas, so we got together to do a review. We met over at the RMC meet. We were doing a big ass cruise that we all got lost in.
Yeah.
And then you know, we're here doing a review for you guys. Hope you guys like it. This is a pretty wild Civic, and it's definitely one of my favorites because me coming back from owning an ekhatch, this is very nice. So we'll get to the video and we'll go with Elijah. Go down a couple of questions. All right, so I'm here with Elijah. Elijah, what's going on with the Civic, man?
So basically what you have here is angrycivic. It's gone through a lot of trials and tribulation. That's where it gets the angry from. But it's basically a 98 Honda Civic ekhatch, USD version, EJ6. What it is with the 98, but I added the 2000 conversion to give it that sleek look, the nostalgic 2000 back in the day with the first Fast and Furious. I wanted to keep it that concept.
Gotcha.
It's gone through several colors, but here we are with the final Miami vibe.
With the Miami, well, recently you just moved from Texas.
Just moved here from Texas, El Paso to be exact. Not really much to do there, but it's definitely been a adventurous ride coming to Miami.
It's definitely different than Miami. Well, the good thing I can tell you about here is that we don't have any smog system, so
yes.
that's always a plus.
And then you can turn anything of any wild things that isn't able to be inspected, and you can get it inspected and drive it on the lovely roads here in Florida.
And here in Florida. So talk to me about this car. Who did you get this car from, or how did you get it in Texas?
So basically, the original owner got it from his grandson as a present to get out for high school. He got it in '97 to gift for his grandson. The grandson graduated high school. He drove it for a month. He took a backpacking trip to Europe, and unfortunately the adult grandson passed away. The story was told to me he stood up on a levee to take photographs of his scenery, and the levee fell, and he fell 200 feet. Since then, the grandpa got frustrated and just stored it away.
All right, so Elijah, so we're in the back of the car, humongous wing, man. Tell me about this wing and what's up here, man.
So basically, it's a Pro Car Innovation, PCI.
Okay.
It's their concept wing where this is actually the replica Type R, and usually it's supposed to be the third brake light, but I didn't go that route. So I knew I was going to mount something on top of it. So instead of getting the real Type R, I just decided, why not just get something that's easy off of eBay, that's a replica, since I'm going to drill holes in it.
Gotcha.
And makes it affordable, but it still gives it that look, because at the end of the day, it's stable, it feats its purpose. I reached out to Brian Slams, his name, on Instagram. It's PCI Pro Car Innovations, and then I did the whole package. They have the PCI side skirts, which is the 4-inch aluminum. They do 2-inch, 3-inch, and 4-inch.
So this is the 4-inch.
This is the 4-inch. 5-inch is more what you would need for a track, because it gives it more lower to the ground. So when you're on the track and you're racing, aerodynamics is a key,
right?
Along with the suspension, everything works together. But if I'm making it, I wanted to do both, be able to go on the track and then street drive it. Obviously, the roads aren't as like they are on the track, so I just went with the 4-inch.
Gotcha. And then you're running the Enki wheels.
I'm running
RPF ones, just like my car. What size are these?
These are 15x8s, and I'm running a 205 50/55 Falcon wheel, and I'm powder coated orange on the wheels.
Those are the Falcon Alcenis.
Yep, Alcenis.
Nice. So this is the gentleman that did the graphics,
Exactly.
RP graphics, right?
Yep.
You know what I like about it? Yeah, you have the Golf theme a little bit into it. It's that Golf color they do on the Porsche.
So when we came up with the concept with the, orange is my favorite color. I wanted to give it that nostalgic look, old school 2000 era. Most people run the Golf racing Porsches, but I wanted to be different outside the box. These are the colors that are close to the Porsche.
Exactly.
So it fit the theme. Everybody gets the kick out of it. They love it. It brings it that much attention. But everything that you see has done nothing here in Miami. Everything is based off of El Paso, Texas, which is 2,000 miles away. So I plan on leaving it this way because this is how my life started, and I'm going to continue it here in Miami. So a lot of the things that you see on the car, other than the RMC Miami, I represent those guys because after all, they did invite me to a meet that we had, and it was an invite only. So for me to get an invite with this, and I'm up against, you know, Porsches, Ferraris, Lambos, you name it. It's a, you know, they are a business that sells, collects, and, you know, the whole 9 yards on those exotic vehicles.
Well, this car is definitely a one of a kind. So what I love about the whole theme is you got the Kanjo look, bye bye police, no good racing. You got the whole Golf thing. It looks amazing. Let's go into the engine. Let's check out the engine bay, and we'll go from there. All right, so we're here in the engine bay. Let's run it real quick. What we got going on here, man? Because I see something nice back here.
So basically, it's running on a Jackson Racing Supercharger with a fully built GSR top head. Okay. And then with a bottom, we're running a B20 Z2 from a CRV, fully cleaned up and refreshed. And I put 12-to-1 compression pistons, so it's half built on bottom end. So other than the Skunk 2 hoses, the 1320 4-to-1 headers, the Vibrant Performance catch can. So we took the catch can, we ran it for the bottom end, so that way we can relieve the pressure from the crankcase instead of the head. Gotcha.
And man, that Jackson Supercharge is just, and these are kind of obviously also period correct for these cars. Obviously it is a B series, but these are discontinued already.
Yes. So Jackson Racing no longer makes these. Back in 1999, 2000s, this was the shit. This is what everybody used. This was the design that they have. Now when everybody did the changes to the K-tuned, technology became more advanced, so they more or less do the superchargers for the K-series motors, not so much for the B. You have to make a lot of alterations to get the Jackson Racing, and unless for this one is specifically for the GSR head. Jackson Racing no longer makes the supercharger for the B16 head. The only difference is that you can make the Jackson Racing supercharger work for a B16 head, but you gotta redo holes.
You got to do a bunch of stuff, huh?
It won't back to the back side of the manifold. Where you're supposed to just put the regular, let's say,
it won't bolt up.
It won't bolt up. You can make it work, but you have to drill the extra holes.
So why a supercharger, not turbo?
So for me, I wanted to keep it that nostalgic, classic look as they did back in the day. For myself, you know, you can't go wrong with a B. I want to, you know, everybody's K-swap in the world and everything. It was on my list to do, but I figured why not? The power that I'm pushing with this, I'm compatible with the K-series motors.
Having a supercharger, it's like instant power.
It's instant power. So basically taking it, we've all heard turbo lag. If you take it can be done, but you're going to have the turbo lag because everybody knows about cornering, braking. With the cornering and braking at the instant rapid of speed that you're trying to put down, your turbo is going to bog, it's going to lag, and therefore you're going to lose time going around the turns. So I don't have that problem. I can take the corner at 80, 90 miles an hour, get off of the turn, get back in, slow as fast,
however you want.
Yeah, slow as fast and out into the corners, and then coming out of the corner, you get it on it and straight away is fast.
And that's it. Well, because you're getting that instant power, and I think that's why the K-series swap, or not the K-series swap, or the Spoon Sports new Civic, or not the new Civic, has been around for a minute. They got a very small turbo on it. So the thing is just, I believe, I could be wrong, but it looks to me like it's a small turbo because that thing just picks up in the corners. Other than that, I think for the track, a supercharger would be ideal because, like what we were saying, is just instant power. It's good to go.
So, you know, this is, for where I came from in El Paso, Texas, if I go to any of the meets or whatever, it's a wow factor because how many times have you gone to a car meet or you know, a parking lot, hard park meet, whatever you want to call it, and then everybody has their hood, so you're, oh, let me go check out and see what they have. It's nothing but K series, K series,
Right.
K series. Every once in a while you'll get an LS V8 swap Miata or something cool, but when they see my car and then they see, oh crap, he's running a B series plus a supercharger, that's the excitement factor and the wow factor that I like, because yes, the older generation will understand and appreciate it. The newer generation is like, oh, it's just a B series, because they're already so hyped
Yeah.
up about the K.
A lot of people don't really understand it. It's funny because, you know, I'm running nothing too crazy in my car, but I do have a June valve cover. It's I think there's maybe like 2 or 3 around the world, or around made. And I was at a meet one day, and one of the guy goes up to me, a young kid, you know, they obviously don't know. He's like, man, you did an amazing job at the paint job. And I was like, yeah, $700 later, it's an amazing job, because that's technically what that valve cover costs. But I was over at Sergio's shop the other day, and actually yesterday I was filming a video, and one of the, you know, they were looking or whatever, and the kid, maybe 16 years old, his dad's buying a car for him, and I hear him tell his dad, he's like, is that a real June valve cover? So I automatically looked, and I'm like, man, does this kid, 16-year-old, know what this is about? Like, you know, because June doesn't really cater Hondas too much. They haven't catered Hondas in a long time. So it was pretty cool to see a young, you know, somebody young say, hey man, dad, is that a real June valve cover? Like, I saw that and I was like, man, that's pretty cool. But
So is Sergio the guy that I had to do
that you did the stuff with?
Right.
Yeah.
So shout out to Sergio.
He did
I had
great
an
job,
injector failure, and he fixed the problem. Nothing but O-ring issues, but we're good to go. But you know, I'm new here, so any hands that have done anything onto the car, it's always better to appreciate them. That's just how I do things. I never leave anything unsaid, and as far as appreciation.
No, Sergio's great. I always, whenever somebody hits me up in the DM or whatever, I always send them straight to him. He's a really good guy to work with. How much power did we make here?
So Hobby Tune is the man. For me personally, I asked around who would probably be better to tune my car. Everybody has their preference. I went with Hobby Tune. First time meeting the guy, it was an awesome experience.
Cool ass guy, man.
Right now, as it sets on 7 psi, because I'm using a stock tensioner and not the 1320 upper lower belt tensioner. So on 7 psi, because we were having belt slipping, so on the top end it was kind of dipping, so we left it at 7 psi. So I'm running 237 to the wheel and 190 torque on pump 93 gas.
And that's a fun ass car, day in and day out.
Bro, I can spin 3 in third gear. Still with the power, I'm have to feather it a lot. Like, these tires are awesome on a track, but when it gets to the streets, I'm doing a lot of feathering just because of the lightweight and getting the car going. So on a dig, anybody wants to dig me, we can do it, but I already know, you know, I'm gonna set myself up for failure.
Yeah, exactly.
But we can do a 60 roll all day long,
and we could definitely have some fun there. Let's move on into the interior, and yeah, man, I can't wait to see more of this car. All right, so when it comes to the interior, fully gutted. This is a full race car, man. Come on, man. Tell me what's going on in here, man.
So I came up with, you know, I wanted it, obviously it has the race car look on the outside, so I had to do something on the inside.
Exactly.
So there's no point. I'm not running AC, I'm not running power steering, so I ripped all of those out, all the lines. Obviously the vents for the AC is obsolete now, so we just discontinued all that, and I decided to order a racing only gauge where it allows me to basically turn everything on and push to start it.
What do you have on those 3 switches? What turns on
So the fuel pump, the power to, I only have the radio, but one speaker, obviously it's gutted. It's just for sound because the car is so loud when I'm driving.
You can't hear nothing. Yeah, you need some type of music.
And then it's put the power, so basically, you know, without power, without key, you can't get, you know, if they really wanted it, they could take it, but just like any other race car, the key's the go.
Gotcha. I love that setup. That setup is so nice. You also have the fire extinguisher, and you what shifter is it that you're running there?
So right now it's the original K-Tune shifter when they came out. I don't remember. It's been so long.
It's been a while.
And I just basically wrinkle painted it, and then you got the shifter. I like the tall, I like the height. When you're setting into the bucket seat, everything's so close to you, and it adjusted to my height. You know, it's in a process right now. We're going to do some upgrades. I just haven't figured out what shifter I have decided to go with. But the shop, the local business there in El Paso, hooked me up and gave me a good deal on the NRG bucket carbon fiber seats with the harnesses.
And what's that bar you're running in the back? Is that a Miracle X?
The bar is basically original X bar from Japan.
Oh, gotcha.
So that's their product from the X bar from there, and
you had to ship it. You brought it.
I had the opportunity from them to ship it to me.
Nice.
I found a company that was their last one, and I told them about my build. I sent them pictures, and they sent it to me. Obviously, I had to pay for shipping. It wasn't cheap.
Yeah, of course.
But I'm using the NRG harness bar.
Do you feel like there's a huge difference when you put those bars back there? Like the car kind of sticks to the ground?
It does, but you can't really feel it unless you know what you're feeling. What is definitely the key is the roll bar underneath the car with the subframe brace.
Gotcha. Nice, man. Well, as you guys can see, it is fully gutted, full race car. You're running the SI cluster.
We have the Vigilante USA made suede steering wheel with the NRG quick release.
Gotcha. Nice, dude.
I'm thinking digital dash. I haven't decided yet.
Like an aim dash?
Yeah, so at the time right now, I'm going with the carbon fiber SI gauge. And
pure correct. I also wanted to focus because I had these on my car. You also have the APR carbon fiber mirrors?
Absolutely. When I got the car, obviously I had the originals, but when we go to meets or whatever, I was having issues where people were bumping into them, and I didn't want them to damage it, so I basically took them off. I replaced them with these because they're little, they're more tinier. If they bump, it's an easy fix. It's definitely not per se a fully show car. It's got the qualities and performance to do both, where I can go to the car show and then I can go to the track if I want. But this is pure street driven to a car show, driven to the track, and driven back home, unless something breaks at the track. But when I take the car out, it's definitely driven hard. And there's no, like, if you notice on the engine bay, it's original, it's gray. There, for me, I had all these questions of people saying, well, why don't you paint the engine bay? The reason being is there's no point in making the engine bay nice. If it was a show car, yes, but it's not a show car. Sometimes you're gonna have little oil leaks from the Vtec solenoid, or anything from the engine. It's gonna get dirty. So I'd rather have it dirty, wipe it down if I need to. It's simple at the shows and just rock it as it is. I don't go to car shows for trophies. If I get one, that's just always a bonus. I go there for the pure love of the community. I'm a diehard car enthusiast. I don't care what you drive or what you have. Everybody has to start somewhere. Project car, Miata, trucks. I mean, it's everything of the quality of life. Whatever they do, that's what decides to make them happy. That's it.
What makes them happy.
But that's what fun. You go to the car show and you meet different people. You meet different walks of life. You hear their stories and they listen to your stories, and that's the whole point of shows. Same way on the racetrack. With me being I don't go to a lot of the circuit racing and the Auto X's here. I haven't really had a chance to do anything here, so I don't want to misinterpret myself. All this drive-in and road courses was back when I was in Texas. Since I've been in Miami, I've only been here 3 months. I haven't really had time to actually sit down, go over a calendar, when everything is going to happen. Plus, we are in a pandemic, so a lot of people pick and choose the things that they have.
Exactly.
So for me, it's just better to it's always better to be patient. And when you're patient, you can come up with ideas, and you're not rushed. You're not taking corners, because when you rush, that's when you run into problems.
When you run into problems, exactly. All right, Elias, so we are in the back of the car. Change of view now because the camera died, so we're doing it off the phone. Real quick, man, and before we end the video, talk to me about that sticker, man. What's going on back there? Fuck cancer, because that's very close to me. My mom is a cancer survivor.
So for me, I was diagnosed with a carcinoid tumor. There's a cancerous tumors that are inside my stomach. They're slow-growing tumors, so they're more or less to take effect and take over your vital organs for when you get older. Since I'm still young, we're able to treat it with my sandostatin shot along with chemotherapy. It's a shot that gets injected into my butt, and then I go every 3 weeks. This build, and the reason why it has it, it's very personal to me. Obviously, those that go through the feelings and the emotions of cancer, people that know cancer, their mind is not always clear. They're sick all the time. I wake up and I'm not feeling good, my body hurts. My car is my getaway. I'll get in my car, strap up, and just go for a cruise.
And you're gone.
Not everything for me is always about fast, but it's my getaway. It's my just escape from my life, escape from my feelings, escaping from, excuse me, a little emotional. It makes me forget about me being sick. So me being in Miami is huge because they have better opportunity for me to get better, but it enables me to not be able to work because basically the shot is basically just to prolong my life. So who knows, when I get 70, it could take over my body, and it's hard because it's blood, so it's in me no matter what. It makes me unable to give blood. I can't help people in need when you do all these blood drives. I'm not able to do any of that. I'm exempt from that, so I kind of feel robbed for helping other people.
Gotcha. Man, it's a very emotional story, I can tell you that. Excuse guys the sound, there's a lot of planes passing by. So I personally dealt with it with my mom being a cancer survivor, breast cancer survivor. So you hear a lot of it from people. It's crazy. You hear a lot of it. You do hear people having cancer, but until it hits you or it hits your family or it hits somebody close. Because when they told me that, it was like, man, that was like a bomb. Like that, I was like brain numbed for like 2 months until we found out, like whatever it is. So I can't even imagine or put into words what is it you're going through, man.
So if you want to be curious about the type of cancer, you just go to Google, type in carcinoid tumor. If you notice, every tumor has its own, like the Susan B. Komen, they have the yellow ribbon. Every ribbon has its own personality.
Gotcha.
Different. So if you notice, my ribbon is a zebra print. So when you Google carcinoid tumor, you're going to notice the type of decal that the zebra print is. For me, rocking the sticker is not only escape, but it gives a little bit of hope for people when they see my car. It kind of brings laughter. Holy crap. So anybody that's gone through a tough time, they can relate. And for me, that's basically, the F is generated to fight cancer, but a lot of people, for me, I don't care, I'll say it. I understand people don't like bad language or whatever, but it's fuck cancer. It's plain and simple.
That's it.
I hate it. I know what people go through because I'm living it as we speak. So any joy that I can get from people when they're driving on the highway, I get a lot of people thumbs up for the car. I even, matter of fact, leaving a Toys for Tots event yesterday, I had a gentleman, he had at least be 45, driving the car. His wife was probably up there in age, 50, 60, and she had her camera out. I noticed when they were behind me, I could see from her, it was during the day, so she had her camera and she was focusing the whole back end. They got into the lane and they finished it off and she clapped her hands. So that's the whole point.
Gotcha. No, man, it's crazy, dude. It's rare that you come along great people like you that you get to meet in this game, this passionate game that we all work for, that we are enthusiasts. And there's such a huge story behind all this. There's such a huge story behind everything. I mean, quick rundown. I started the channel with an ekhatch, and I'm sorry that I'm giving you the rundown. We'll kind of end it quick and we'll go get some water, man, because it's crazy, dude, for real. The ekhatch that I had that everyone was following in the channel was in the paint shop for 4 months. And a lot of people didn't know, but I was making $200 a week when I had that. I work for FedEx, and I mentioned in a few videos now, I got a promotion thanks to the Lord, But back then I was making $200 a week. I was at FedEx, and a lot of people didn't know that. So I had that ekhatch in the paint shop, and the guy told me $1,200 for the paint job. It took me 4 months to pay that. I was going there every Friday, giving him $40, $50, whatever I can. And at that time, I was dealing with my mom's cancer. I was dealing with a lot of personal stuff. And YouTube for me was a huge getaway. And so was that car. And I remember getting the car out 4 months later. The guy calls me and says, hey, man, the car's ready. You finally paid it off. We're talking about almost half a year just to pay $1,200. Driving to Acura Honda Classic, car just fresh out the paint. Girl fell asleep and rear-ended me. So it's been a long ride from everybody. You know, I always tell people in all my videos, you know, count your blessings and always watch what you say, because people are dealing with a lot of demons that you just don't know about. So, you know, before you go out there and you talk about somebody, before you go out there and you say something stupid about somebody or bring somebody down, you know, watch your mouth or watch your language or watch your character, because you don't know what they're struggling with. Because, you know, I saw your sticker and it said fuck cancer, and I said, man, that's personal to me because my mom, and I'm thinking you had somebody in the family. It comes out to be that you're the one that's dealing with it. So, and I'm totally grateful, man, for giving me the shot to film this, man.
Obviously, everybody's going to look at the car. They're going to be like, oh, how do you afford all this and how do you afford all that? It's hard because a lot of it is out of pocket. So what I do is I save a lot of money, but what I did in El Paso is I wasn't scared to go pick up cans, recyclables. What I did was I rented a truck from U-Haul for 20 bucks. And I would go out and I would go door to door and say, hey, do you have anything that you would like to be taken to the trash? Let me help you. If obviously if you don't have a truck and you're not able, like you got lumber, you got wood, you got an old dog house or whatever, I would basically put it in the truck, charge them for the fee, and then take it to the dump for them. And that extra side and that extra cash generated the flow for this. So the way of doing that in El Paso was huge. It was me and another guy. That's it. Moving here, it happened. So I have to obviously find a new way, because I'm not all about taking other people's ideas and profiting off that. I know, Poppy 1305. He does it. You know, your junk is his cash. And I've called him to get a quote to have something picked up from me. I didn't need it really, so I went ahead and took care of it. But you know, I'm not afraid to take out my money that I don't have to help other people. But you know, it's really hard with, you know, obviously I want to do Digital Dash. I don't have the money for that, or I would have to save the money that I get every month from my retirement.
Exactly.
And go through my retirement for that. But you know, at the end of the day, you know, I work to live. I don't live to work.
Exactly. How old are you, Eli?
I'll be 41 in January.
There it is. Some people say, oh, you're too old for that. You know what I tell them for that? I don't even want to say it on the video. But anyways, I appreciate you guys for coming through and filming this video. You know, we'll cut it from here. We'll go get some water, hang out, and hope you guys like it. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Thank you.
We'll definitely be seeing you more in the YouTube channel. We'll be hanging around more.
You want to follow my Instagram?
Yes.
Elijah. It's spelled ELIJAH EK9. I have the English Bulldog as my picture.
Perfect. I'll link you anyways in the description below.